Hey y'all, it's Natalie and I have a Just Because layout for you today. I am playing with the Spectrum Gardenia collection and have all these super fun photos of my boys and their cousins for their Christmas gift this year. We did a splatter paint party and it was so much fun. So I wanted to do a lot of colorful photos, and this collection was super perfect for it. So this is the idea I'm having. I have all of these 2x3 photos and I'm going to put the title across the middle in black. And so I tried it on that paper. Now I'm trying it on this paper, but I want to use that rub-on. So I felt like the rub-on wasn't going to pop off of those pattern papers properly. So I'm going to use just a plain white paper and kind of embellish accordingly. But it's a super big rub-on, so I feel like it will give enough oomph, right? So I cut it off. It's fully like 12 by 12 across. And I'm going to stick it right down in the middle of the page there. I'm going to choose one of the 6x8 papers, and that's what I'm going to use to mat all of my photos. That black and white stripe is super cute. I love rainbow with black and white. So I'm going to put the photos across the top and bottom. I'm just kind of trying to variegate their colors of like the ponchos they were wearing. And yeah, so there I moved her because there was too much pink in that picture. So I'm liking the way that looks. And I'm going to stick down my rub-on now. And then I will lay the alphas across the middle of them. Okay, so I'm going to rough up the edges of all of these papers, and then I will also ink them up. And then I have the great idea to ink them up in like rainbow order to kind of go along with the rub-on. So I pulled out a bunch of my Distress Oxides, and so I'm going to do the edges of the photos in accordance with where they're going to sit on the spectrum with the rainbow. So like these photos are between the red and the pink. So half of the inking on the edges is going to be red and half is going to be pink. And it's really subtle, but I do think that it adds a little like cohesion to the page, right? So this layout came together pretty easily because it doesn't really have a lot going on, even though it's super bright and colorful. But I was really glad to be able to use one of those giant 12 by 12 rub-ons that instead of hoarding it, I'm really bad about hoarding things. I'll link down below with my affiliate link if you want to go grab some of these items. I think there's still some of this collection in the store at a cherry on top. So it's super beautiful. I never get tired of using these collections from 49th and Market. So I'm rubbing on the rub-on now, and I'm just making sure to use a lot of pressure. So I actually switch over to my contour tool because I really wanted to give it a lot of pressure. And there you see me out. It still wasn't enough. So I'm really, bearing down and then really gently pulling off the transparency part, and it came out really nicely. It went on really smoothly, and I'm using textured cardstock, so those rub-ons stick really well. To stick to the texture, no problem. And if there's any little bits that I didn't rub on, I'll just kind of place them on somewhere else. You can kind of see this, they look like splatters. And then I am going to add additional splatter because always. Now I'm putting the photos back with the inked edges where they go, but then I'm moving them off again to do splatter. So I have black soot, Distress Oxide splatter, and that one big piece that's under the orange bit, it's actually going to get covered up with the journaling, so no worries that it kind of went rogue there. So I'm just going to start in the middle and kind of tilt each photo different ways and make sure that they all fit, work my way out. And just like put them a little cockeyed and make them look a little wonky. I think that looks nice. Lends to the distress nature and the splatter. So much splatter. We had to have splatter because it was a splatter party. I am going to use my T-square ruler to make sure that these are lined up once I start adding them down. They were definitely not very sticky, so I'm going to have to add additional Nuvo adhesive to the back of all of them. But the kids didn't really need like more stuff, right? And so one of the moms of the kids was like, hey, like, what do your kids want? Like an experience. And I was like, let's do something together because they love to spend time together. It's so sweet. And they really like to get along. You can see I was having a little beverage while I did this fun layout. And it still turned out good. But yeah, these kids love playing together. Up in the top, you'll see a blank spot. That's where we're missing one of our cousins. She's an angel, so we don't want to forget her. We'll put her initial up there. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm going to pull out one of the laser cut pieces from the collection, and then I'll put a nice pink sparkly sticker because she would have loved that, and put that there. And with a little heart. The laser cut pieces are fun and I like them a lot, but there's a lot of similar pieces, and so there wasn't a lot to kind of variegate around the page. I do have the butterfly laser pieces, but I didn't really want the butterflies to be the star. Like, I know I put that big giant butterfly piece across, but you really kind of got to pay attention to notice that they're butterflies, because otherwise they just kind of look like paint swatches or whatever. So I didn't want to embellish with butterflies, but it's okay, because I'm like, you know what, like, let's let that be the main focal point, the middle part, and then you can look at all their sweet little faces, and we don't need to distract from their sweet little faces, right? So we don't need all these other embellishments. So I did use one of the film strips to house my journaling. I just thought a little bit about what we did in lieu of Christmas presents, and layer that up with a couple of those little pieces from the laser cut section. And then I think we're going to call it a layout. I did ink up all the edges with black to kind of help it go with the page, and distress them as well. So I'm going to put the links down below, the affiliate links to this collection, Add a Cherry on top. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you all. I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, y'all.